Against a knife-wielding threat, distance is your very best friend. Today's video is brought to us by Firearms Legal Protection. Firearms Legal Protection is a legal defense program for lawful gun owners with a 24/7 emergency hotline and plans designed specifically for self-defenders. They are offering a discount on their plan to Asp fans, so hit the link in the description for that. Hi everyone, this is John with today's active self-protection lesson out of Marshfield, Wisconsin. It's an officer-involved incident there with a man who is just not willing to listen to officers. News story linked in the description said this guy has chased off social workers with knives, and so the police have been called. We have audio on this one, but the scrolling text is how the police released this one, so let's, that's them doing it, not me. Let's listen in, then we'll come back and learn some lessons.
Long shot probably from here.
Well, that's what you want.
Pat, put that knife down.
Hey, Pat, you need to stay there.
Stay there, Pat. You're gonna have to provide lethal too, Pat. Pat, stay there. I don't want you to get hurt. Stop! Police, stop!
Backing up around the car. Pat! Give it to him.
Put that knife down, Pat, now! Put it down!
Pat!
Pat, put the knife down, now!
Put it down. Get another one. Get
Pat,
the dog.
put that knife down!
Get the dog.
Terry, dog!
Pat!
Okay,
Put it down! Pat, get on the ground! Put it
down on the ground! Get down!
Get on the ground! H, butts!
It's back behind me. Got dog,
Get
Terry?
out, Pat. I got him.
Pat, you got lethal. I'm gonna go hands. Stay right there.
I got cover too. Stay down. Pat! Stay down. Taser.
Okay, I'm gonna pass you. Don't let dog get me. You hurt? Okay, where?
Well, you guys shot me with whatever you did.
Yeah, those are beanbags. You wouldn't drop the knife, Pat. I didn't want to do that. I told you a whole bunch of times to drop that knife.
Boy, I think those officers went above and beyond to help this man and to not have to use lethal force. If you want to support the channel at Active Self-Protection, did you know that we have a merch store? Hit the link in the description and you can pick up cool t-shirts and hats and mugs and all that cool stuff. Out of this particular lesson, I want to think about a couple of things, including keeping your distance when a less lethal tool is the best tool, and why I think badge cams are an incredibly useful tool for non-law enforcement to understand the difficulty that our law enforcement officers face. So the police have showed up to this one knowing that they have a disturbed person who is armed and threatening. So he is clearly a danger to others. But notice that they're keeping their distance here. Now you can see the officers with the canine, are coming into play, and they're trying to get into a place where they can disarm this guy. And notice as well that the officer here that we see his badge cam has the less lethal. He's got the beanbag shotgun. I love the fact that he is keeping his distance, not only to keep himself safe, but so that he's at the appropriate distance for his tool. And his tool that's the appropriate distance for him here is that beanbag shotgun. He's got to have a little standoff so that it is an appropriate tool and a less lethal tool, and it causes pain. Now, if you got somebody with a short range tool like a knife and you have a long range tool like a firearm, whether it's a long gun or a handgun, keep your distance if at all possible. And the fact that they were able to plan this because they were new coming in, hey, this is what we're gonna do and here's how it's gonna work, very wise. Now notice the pain that the beanbag shotgun inflicted. That's exactly what it's for. It's designed to gain compliance through pain. That's what a beanbag shotgun does. Did a good job of that here, but it's not immediately incapacitating. Another great reason against somebody who has a knife or something like that to use it at distance. And yes, the officer had to use it there because that guy's closing on them and he's shown a resistance to law enforcement and he doesn't want to comply. So he's going to pop him, tell him put the knife down, pop him again because the guy didn't put the knife down, whack him a third time here because he hadn't put the knife down yet. And notice that the officer's backed off from the car. Why? Because the guy has kept advancing on him. He has a tool that has some distance that can gain compliance, doesn't need the lethal tool yet because it's not an imminent deadly threat to him. Instead, right now, it's an emerging deadly threat, and so he uses less lethal means and keeps his distance. Very, very wise. Now, the guy tosses his knife there, and so you ask kind of, why'd they send the dog after this guy? Well, number one, they released the dog before he tossed the knife. Number two, with the guy diminished, this is a way to get him into custody with minimum amounts of hurt. So again, I don't talk about police procedures here on Active Self-Protection. I'm not a cop, but I just think that it was incredibly helpful here and incredibly good for these officers to try everything they can to take this guy into custody without killing him. And they did an excellent job. And we see officers do that every single day at Active Self-Protection. And I think that's one of the biggest things that I get out of badge cams. I love the badge cams because they show the incredible good work that officers are doing around the country. Yes, occasionally they show a bad apple, but by and large, again and again and again, they show the incredible professionalism of our officers. So for any of the officers that are listening in, that are fans of Active Self-Protection, I just want to say from me to you, thank you for serving our communities. Thank you for helping us. Thank you for doing what you do. I know you don't get thanked often enough, but a hearty thank you from me to you for protecting your community, and good job here to these officers for helping this man while covering their ASP.